I needed to briefly address crazygail.com, crazygail.com. And that's because I can't believe how much work they've done the past couple days. They're all competing for the hottest spot in hell, those Jesuits. I just want to make you aware of several things. When you go to crazygail.com, please be aware that this is a Jesuit website. Rule 13 and Zack Knight, when I go in there, I can see that they've done work on this website. Rule 13 and Zack Knight are the leaders of the Jesuits. Zack Knight is the future Antichrist. So when you go to crazygail.com or to orderofthejesuits.com, Zack Knight is the real head of the Jesuit order. And he is the future Antichrist. So be aware that you are looking at the future Antichrist website. Okay? Keep that in mind when you go there, and you'll be keeping things in proper perspective. Another thing I'd like to state is a lot of well-meaning people think that if I take down my website and my YouTube channel, that the Jesuits will take down their websites. No, they won't. If I take down my website and YouTube channel, what's going to happen is there will be no voice for truth out there. And the Jesuits will have a monopoly over the internet, and then they will just blast lies about me even more, and about my family members. It'll be worse. It's better for me to leave my online presence up there. I promise you, if I take my online presence off, the Jesuits will not retreat. These people who advise me to take down my website thinking the Jesuits will retreat do not understand the Jesuits. They will not retreat. I promise you they will. I don't think crazygail.com will ever go down. It's probably going to be up until the rapture, unless Jesus takes it down. But Jesus has to let things go according to his plan. Zack Knight is going to become the Antichrist. His presence is going to increase. It's going to have to increase, because how else? Jesus told us he's the Antichrist. How else is he going to come to power unless he increases? So he's going to increase. We already know that. You might say, well, what's the answer then? It's terrible. Jesus ought to just beat him up. Yeah, I know I get mad at Jesus too about this, but, you know, I asked Jesus to forgive me. I think, Jesus, why do you let these horrible Jesuits get away with all this? But I guess he just has to let things go according to his plan. He's going to get beat up eventually, and he's going to end up in the lake of fire. So Jesus is just, his timetable is just different than ours. And I would like to state emphatically that me and my men, the men I communicate with, which is the real Brent Spiner, Matthew McConaughey, Gerard Butler, Hugh Jackman, Vladimir Putin, we have nothing to do with these two Jesuit websites, crazygail.com or orderofthejesuits.com. Okay? And I'm getting sick and tired of hearing from some well-meaning people that we have the power to stop what the Jesuits are doing at their own websites. We wish we had that power. My men have taken the Jesuits to court over crazygail.com, and what's happened is the Jesuits keep prolonging the case by bringing up this objection and that objection and creating all sorts of problems and distractions, and they're just dragging the case on and on and on, and we haven't been able to get them to remove their website. We've tried. We've sued them for defamation and everything at crazygail.com, and all they do is keep bringing new stuff up and just keep dragging the case on and on and on, okay? I've come to the conclusion I don't think that website is ever going to come down. And like I said, if I take my online presence off, there will be no voice for the truth out there. I have one of the strongest voices for truth out there. Besides, Jesus Christ himself told me he wants me to keep my online presence up. And I'll listen to Jesus before I listen to any human being. So I just want to say they've got more crap out there at crazygail.com. And if you go in there and read up on it, just remember that me and my men have nothing to do with these two Jesuit websites. And we don't approve of what they do. You say, well, how are they getting their information? It must be because of information you're feeding to your men. Actually, the Jesuits are trying to create that impression. But you've got to remember, we are dealing with the richest and most powerful organization on earth. They've got their own spies. What they're doing is using their own intelligence agents to get the information which they're putting onto crazygail.com, and they're trying to make it appear like that it's my men behind crazygale.com. They're very clever, these Jesuits. They're putting information up at crazygale.com to make it look like either I or my men are secretly behind this website. No, it's the Jesuits, folks. The Jesuits are behind crazygale.com. Me and my men have nothing to do with it. But these Jesuits are experts at framing their crimes on innocent parties, especially innocent parties they want to discredit and destroy. And that is what's really going on with those websites. They have to discredit me. Their most effective technique for discrediting me is to get me written off as crazy. Okay, and that's been their strategy with me. For Brent Spiner and Matthew McConaughey and them, their way to discredit them is they try to make it appear like my men are only interested in my money and that they're secretly against me. It's a brilliant Jesuit strategy, but I don't fall for it because it isn't true. And I've dealt with my men a long time. Any man who sticks with me, besides, well, it's not true. I just know that because I've dealt with Brent Spiner for 22 years and I know what he's like. He's literally risked his life for me. And so have all of the men, especially the top 10 on my marriage list. They have risked their life for me, and that's why I trust them. And they trust me too because I've risked my life for them. And because they've risked their life for me, I know it's not true that they're after my money. You say, when did they? Oh, so many times it's not even so many times. Just go to my website and or listen to my videos. Well, like we had a Quebec trial, and the Jesuits wanted to kill me and find out what happened. Go to Judge Terrence Jenkins' YouTube channel, listen to videos 10 and 9, 10, and 11, I believe it is, and see what my men did. See what? That's why I trust them. The Jesuits are full of crap. Okay, so they have several. I want to point out 3 outstanding lies at Crazy Gale Wiki that need to be addressed. It is a lie that Brent Spiner is married to Lori McBride. This is a lie that the Jesuits have to promote because it's part of their way to knock me down so that I will quit damaging the Jesuits. Brent Spiner is not married to Lori McBride. Not the real Brent Spiner. The Brent Spiner clone is, but not the real Brent Spiner. So that is incorrect. And the Jesuits know it's incorrect. They're just out and out lying on that one. The other one is Brent Spiner. They claim that Brent Spiner is a hardcore atheist. That is not correct. Before Brent Spiner became a born-again Christian in September 2011, he was an agnostic. He was not a hardcore atheist. He's not either now. He's been hanging out with Jesus, so he's a believer now. And then the other one is they claim that back in 1988 that I was diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic. I have never, I've never been diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic up to if I was this year, it was because the Jesuits invented it. Because I was taken against my will to a psych ward because of a lying relative. And they might have diagnosed me that based on lies. They may have diagnosed me. But before this year, I have never, ever been diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. Okay? And if I was diagnosed as one this year, that's the Jesuits' fault. They've been throwing this label out about me. It's a form of propaganda, just like Hitler used with the masses. And some stupid people out there are going to fall for it, especially the ones who are not really reading my website carefully and listening to what I have to say. If you only go to a couple of my videos and maybe just skim over my website and not really read it, then you're going to fall. In other words, if you don't do your homework, you're going to fall for their lies. So they've got a massive propaganda campaign against me. And then I'm just going to read some Bible verses, then I'm going to leave. Acts 26:24. This is talking about the Apostle Paul. And as he thus spake for himself, Festus said with a loud voice, Paul, thou art beside thyself. Much learning doth make thee mad. Looks like I have company here. They accuse the Apostle Paul of being crazy. Let's go to Jesus Christ. John 10:20. Another thing, The Jesuits are able to manipulate brain cell conversations. And the Seroquel that I'm on is actually helping to block that as well as helping my yeast infection. That's why I don't wear the tinfoil hat anymore. Jesus said the Seroquel is now doing what the tinfoil hat used to do. But I find that their brain control technology is so powerful that I find even on the Seroquel, sometimes they get in there a little bit. They could do this to anybody. You don't have to have a mental illness for them to be able to misdirect your brain cell conversations. And that doesn't mean you have a mental illness. It means that with the futuristic technology the Jesuits have, they can misdirect your brain cell conversations so you might accidentally misquote a word, or your brain might go off on a tangent. If that's the case, then everybody's mentally ill, because the Jesuits can do it to anybody. I'm one of the more resistant people to their technology because of my genetic profile. They've discovered that my genes with Catherine the Great and King David make me more resistant to their brain control technology, but I'm not immune. And they're throwing everything in their arsenal at me. It's amazing that I do as well as I do when I am the #1 target of the Jesuit order. They've even admitted it themselves. I'm the Zechariah 9:15 woman. Okay, John 10:20. And many of them said, he hath the devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Jesus Christ got accused of being insane. And what's really interesting is Brent Spiner went out to breakfast with Jesus, and he ordered pancakes. And the waitress said, no, you didn't order pancakes. And she brought back a different menu than the one he looked at. And she said, see, you're schizophrenic, because you said that you ordered pancakes and you didn't. Here's the menu. And then Brent said, that's not the menu that I ordered from. You got a different menu to make me look like I'm a liar. And then Jesus was right there. And he very politely told her, ma'am, it's true. He did order pancakes and it was on the menu. And you're a Jesuit, and you're just trying to make him think he's crazy. And then she looked at Jesus like this and said, I am most certainly not a Jesuit, and you're a fake. You're not the real Jesus. And then Jesus said, he got the hash browns and he just put them right on her two eyes. He says, go to the restroom and wash out your eyes. She went to the restroom and she washed out her eyes, and she came out screaming, I'm blind, I'm blind. And then Jesus said, now she is now as blind physically as she is spiritually. And he didn't tip her one penny where he normally tips $1 million or more. This is what Brent Spiner told me. And then Jesus materialized a whole stack of pancakes for Brent to eat. And then Brent said he was in awe. So this happened within the past couple weeks, because Jesus took Brent out to breakfast at Bob Evans because he was wearing himself out fighting these Jesuits in court for me. Anyways, I'm sure my men are not thrilled by what the Jesuits have done within the past couple days at crazygale.com. They're all just competing for the hottest spot in hell. That's all. It amazes me how hard they work for the devil. I mean, I tell you, that devil's got some pretty devoted followers. So when you go to crazygale.com or orderofthejesuits.com, please be aware that those are Zack Knight, the Antichrist website. And because I'm exposing him as the Antichrist, of course he's going to have to say I'm crazy. He has to. I'm causing him to lose followers. Now, he's not going to sit on that one. But unfortunately, he is going to come to power because he is the Antichrist, and Bible prophecy has to be fulfilled. But I'm part of Jesus' plan, and I think the Lord is using me to bring as many Jewish people and Gentiles into the church before the rapture. And Jesus is using our church of Gale, to spread the gospel out all over the world, and also to warn the people about the impending tribulation period, which is about to come upon us. I think Jesus wants to take as many people out as he can before the 7-year tribulation sets in. He's using me as the instrument. He's also using me to make videos which are going to go underground after the rapture, and the tribulation saints are going to view them for encouragement. Jesus told me that himself. And for that reason, Jesuits, I will not take down my website or my videos, because the future tribulation saints need them. and because I'm under divine order to continue, and because there's some saints right now that are finding the Lord because of my online ministry. I will not take it down. Jesus wants them up, and they're staying up. My online, and like I said, you well-meaning people that are trying to get me to shut up and to take down my website and YouTube videos, you're emissaries of Satan. Satan is the one who wants me to shut up. I'm under divine orders to make videos.